Hi friends, it's been so long since I've done a video, and I really want to say thank you to SGT Report. It's given me the opportunity to speak about a week ago, and SGT Report, thank you so very much. And I also want to say to all my new friends on YouTube that has now connected with me, I just want to say welcome and thank you for connecting with me. I am, if people don't know about me, I am extremely shy. Well, okay, I can't say extremely shy. Enough that I am doing something, but it's not the easiest thing in the world. But I'm just plugging away very slowly. So that was this is the main reason why I'm doing this video. But while I'm doing this, I thought it would be a good opportunity to talk about something else. I think about things often like, I want to share this. This is really important. People need to know this kind of thing. So I'm doing it, but very often I just think about it and I don't usually do it. Okay, so today I want to talk a little bit about brainwash. It's something that I could talk about more than just one session, but I'll just make it short today, and I might make it short next time too. Okay, so when I was in the cult, I think I was in Mexico at the time. The story that I'm going to share, I was, I think, 18 years old, and I had a stroke when I was 17 in Mexico, and I was there for 2 years. I was probably around 18 or 19 at the time, and the cult was writing stuff on brainwash and explaining to the world that they're not brainwashed, and so I just believed that, I'm not brainwashed. I'm not brainwashed. I know what I'm thinking about. So how do you know if you're brainwashed? To start with, I would say we have to go and understand more about our beliefs. The first thing about beliefs, a lot of times people will say, we need to get rid of our beliefs. We need to, change our beliefs. Well, changing our beliefs can be beneficial. If I felt lowly about myself, that would be a belief that I would have in myself, so I could change that, where I believed in myself. Now, it could go either way in the mind, whether you feel good or whether you don't feel good about yourself, your self-esteem, but nevertheless, it comes from our beliefs about ourselves. So that's just an example about it. It's not, beliefs are not good or bad. It's just, you have to decide, which you prefer. The other thing about beliefs is that we have to understand that to function in the mind, we have to live with beliefs. And the difference is to be aware that it's just a belief. Now, a belief is not facts. Beliefs are just what makes sense in our mind and our surroundings. So, beliefs, you can't, it's not about just be aware of it. Just be aware what the beliefs are. We have to function in the world. We have to have beliefs. So being aware of that, how do we change that and to not be brainwashed? We have to, this is just one avenue about brainwash. We're going one avenue with it. Number one, we have to be aware that we're living with beliefs, and to always be willing to challenge them. If it functions well, keep it, But if it no longer functions well, then we have to challenge it, and we can't hold on to it forever. I can talk about the cult about it, although it didn't really affect me, because I'm talking about how, my parents and my parents' generation, it was during the hippie era that everybody was revolting against, the war, and, they were challenging things. Now, was that a bad thing? No, I think that's a good thing. They were challenging the status quo, and they were youthful, and they knew that something had to change, and so they did that. Is that wrong? No. But then they got into an organization, a movement. The movement in the beginning, it sounded kind of good, but then it got really bad is when the leader began to take control of everything. Before it was just free, youthful, being free and feeling good and feeling alive and happy and finding purpose and things like that. And then when all of a sudden the leader took more control over it and started telling people what they could and what they couldn't, that was the beginning of it. And this is all way before I was born, but that's kind of what had happened. So was it all bad? No. And that's how it is in our lives. We have to, we understand that we're going to has purpose in our beliefs, but if it no longer serves us anymore, we have to be willing to challenge it and to be free to challenge challenge things. So that's just an example of how, the mind, how our beliefs, can, how the mind can work. I mean, the mind is such an amazing thing. The mind is quite an amazing computer, that there's so much more to explore than just this. This is just a small, aspect of it. Another thing about, brainwash is, I think it's a really cool analogy. I think it was from India, but who knows? I'm sure we've all heard of it, heard the story, and so I'm going to share it about the elephant and the 5 blind men. Maybe it was 6. That each one were able to find about this. They wanted to see what an elephant was like, and they couldn't see it, so they were just feeling. One had the tail. It was, it's like a snake or a rope. Another one feels, it's like a trunk when they're feeling the legs. Another one's saying, like the ears. It was, it's like a fan. They're all describing their description of what the elephant was. And so they were all right. Each one had a different descriptions of what the elephant, and they were all right, yet they were all wrong because they lost their perception was wrong. They got so caught up in one thing. And that I can see is what's happening in the world right now. These horrible Democrats. These horrible Republicans, and you see people so angry about this. And, maybe there's some truth of why they don't like it, which I'm sure there's truth to that, but there's another side of why the other person has picked those choices. And I think if we all could see things in a different perspective, our perception would change. And I think that is part of brainwash, is we get caught up only seeing one side, and we're going to hold on to it, and we're going to fight to the death with this belief. And look what's happening today. People are talking about, this civil unrest and possibly civil war, which I pray to God this is not going to happen. But, it's very possible, because if we're all going to fight and think that we're so right on one side that we're going to do it, that's where we may be going. So with beliefs or brainwash, they're kind of like, can be hand in hand, that when we hold on to our beliefs so strongly that we cannot see outside of just this one perspective, then in a way we're holding into this brainwash. Somebody on the SGT report commented and said something like, it was one of the first, comments, and he says, our government is the biggest brainwash in the world, or something like that. And I think that person is right. In some sense, it's totally right. There is so much brainwash with what our government is, programming to the people, and that we hold on to it. But the same thing when we get caught up with religions, or our government, it goes into everything. It's our identity in what we are taught to believe. All right, so gosh, to truly talk about brainwash, I feel like this is just the tip of the iceberg, but it's something that I kind of wanted to, discuss and to share about, and I don't want to talk too much, but yeah, so it's a good start. Thank you again, my new friends on YouTube and my old friends on YouTube, and feel free to give comments and thoughts. That would be awesome to get comments, because I'm sure we can put things in different perspectives, and we can share for other people of how we see it and stuff like that. All right, thank you very much, and a happy Labor Day. I don't know where you are, but I hope you do have a great day for this weekend, and check it out.